who is Senior Director of Professional Development at NBOA. We also have on the line Melissa Zinder, who is our Manager of Social Media and Online Initiatives, as well as myself, John Fallon, who is Senior Manager of Program and Events. But right now I'm going to pass it over to Gretchen, and she will begin.
Hi, everybody. That is a pretty formal introduction to what I actually think is a pretty informal group, our group of Ignite presenters. So the first thing I want to say is thank you for agreeing to share your passions. This session is guaranteed to be a lot of fun, so I hope you enjoy it, and we really appreciate that you are willing to create one of these presentations and share it. So let's dive in. We're going to run through pretty quickly through about 10 or 15 minutes of just like nuts and bolts about Ignite sessions. And then we'll open up the lines, and if people have questions, or you can type in your questions, you can either ask your questions verbally or type them in. We have several experienced Ignite presenters on the line and in the group, and so they can also help answer questions. So for those of you out there, Linda, and I'm not sure who else is already on, Wendy, if she's on, if you want to chime in at any point, feel free to do that, because I think your experience as a presenter is very valuable. Okay, so here we go. Who the heck are you presenting to? A little bit, you guys, many of you are familiar with this, but just as a refresher, who are business officers? Business officers are school finance CFOs typically. Typically, they've worked someplace else before they came to work at a school. And that's important to know because they come to this with a lot of context and a lot of background. We do expect 700 or so people at this meeting, but we do not expect them all to be watching Ignite. So last year we had about 80 to 100 people come to the Ignite session. There will be other options for people to go to at the same time. So you know, we'll have a full room. We'll try and set the room so that it feels warm and welcoming and friendly, and that it feels like there's a good crowd for you. As you know, business officers are very mission-driven. They're in this profession because they love it, and so they will completely resonate with you talking about the things about your profession and your life that you love. What is an Ignite session? Some of you, like I said, are familiar, but what we've done is we put you all in a room, and we, one after the other, we'll put together all your PowerPoints into one big PowerPoint, and we will run it. But we stop in between each of you. So one after the other you'll go. You'll have 20 slides, and they'll be set on the PowerPoint to auto-advance every 15 seconds. So we'll have someone watching the computer, and after we introduce you and you step up to the podium, we'll hit go, and your slides will launch, and you will tell your story. Let's see. Okay, I was going to go over this. Just some things that you need to know about doing your Ignite. You do need to register for the annual meeting and make your own travel arrangements, so please do that. Last year's presenters told me that it was important that they rehearsed and timed themselves at home, because they found that what they thought, how long they thought slides were going to take was not exactly how long they did take. We also are going to have an optional rehearsal session on site in the room where you'll be doing the presenting. We won't have the audience there for you, but there should be plenty of time. We'll start at noon, so there should be plenty of time for everyone to rehearse if you want to at the meeting. So we'll send out emails to let you know when that's going to happen. We really appreciate it if you get to the session 20 minutes or so early so that we know that you're there. We do worry if someone is not in the room, so we appreciate it when you get there and enjoy yourself speaking with the other speakers and just getting ready and relaxing. We'll put you all in one row in the room at the front, so that in the order you'll be presenting, so that you don't have to memorize who you go after or anything like that. It'll just be one person will stand up, give theirs, they'll sit down, we'll introduce the next person, you'll stand up, give yours, and then we'll just go through the row. But the most important thing to remember about giving an Ignite session, that it should be fun for you. It should be fun for you. It should engage the audience. It doesn't necessarily have to be fun for the audience, but we do want to engage their thinking, engage their creativity, engage their inspiration. So that's the most important thing about Ignites. One thing about Ignites, if anyone asks, we do not give CPE credit for them, so there's no required content or information that you necessarily need to give out during an Ignite session. The things that worked well last year were showing photos. In any PowerPoint, having a few photos is always helpful. I guess I need a few more in this one. Another tip that several people used last year was that if you find that you want to talk a little longer about a particular picture, slide, or piece of your presentation, you just duplicate it in the template. And finally, do send me your slides by January 24th. I know that's coming right up, but it becomes a really large presentation, and so it does take some, and it's obviously you may format your slides differently than other people, and so it takes some work to all get it stitched together and uploaded and into a place where we can store it, where we know we can access it and run it quickly. I sent you a template. If you don't have it, I can resend it. I'm happy to send it to you again. You are welcome to use the template. It is already set up to be run 15 seconds, 20 slides running 15 seconds. The 20 slides does not include a title slide, so you can put a title slide in addition, so it's technically 21. If you want a copy of that template, again, let me know. I'm happy to send it to you. You do not have to use it. If you want to just use whatever template you're comfortable with, or basically have no template, just a full slide, that is fine too. However, whatever you're most comfortable with. Melissa is going to talk a little bit about how we're going to use the app and some social media things to get people excited about your Ignite program. So Melissa, are you there?
Yeah, thanks, Gretchen. So if you haven't already, you can download the annual meeting app with the link above. It's bit.ly/NBOA 2014 app, or you can visit the annual meeting website, and we have a link there. Your table assignment is on that app. To find it, you can navigate to your session by going to the events icon on the dashboard, then browse by day, then go to Wednesday, and under the 10 a.m. time slot, you'll see the Goldmine session. You have to select the gold.
Melissa, these are the Ignites, so they don't have a table number. That's okay.
I'm so
the
sorry.
Order, we'll probably get the order that they're going to be in up there. That's fine.
I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
Yes. So you can find the order similarly by going to your session time and day. If you could send me all your handouts and your headshots for the app by January 31st, I would appreciate that. My email is at the bottom of the slide. And everything will be uploaded to the app by February 10th. And then after February 10th, it's new this year, you'll be able to update anything or the headshot and the handouts on your own through the speaker portal. So look out on February 10th for an email from Core Apps, which is the company that runs our app, with instructions on how to upload documents. Also this year, I'll be sending out some sample phrases in late January that you can just copy and paste onto your own Facebook, Google+, or Twitter so that you can promote the conference and your session to your followers. If you have any questions, just feel free to contact me at the email address below.
Great. Thanks, Melissa. And we, of course, are here to help out. So, Jennifer, you want to talk them through how to get help if they need it?
Sure. Yes. You could feel free to contact any NBOA staff, but for the quickest assistance, if you have any questions about registration issues or speaker code or times and rooms, just contact me. That's my information. If you need help with the app, you can contact it there. And then if you need any questions for content ideas and general assistance, so you could just contact Gretchen. So,
you know what? And I realized we have, so far we now have two things that, because this is our first webinar of today, of 3 that we're doing today, that we, there are no handouts for Ignite sessions. I just need your slides to put into the PowerPoint, and by January 24th. And also there is no speaker code for Ignite presenters. So I apologize, everybody. Those are 2 things that we need to fix, so we will fix that. And then Jennifer, you want to talk about what to do when they're in Orlando if they need help?
Yeah, sure. So the next thing that we're going to do is, we're hoping that everyone will meet the 20 minutes ahead. Everyone will be there. Gretchen will most likely be in the room. But if at any time you have any questions, the quickest way to get any assistance is obviously just to go to the registration desk. It will be right outside of the lobby area at the Gaylord, and we'll be able to contact you. If you're in the room and you're having issues or you don't see anybody in there, please feel free to text us. These are our our cell phone numbers. And if you could just say, like, hi, this is John Doe, I need help, and then put your name, that's good, because a lot of times we won't recognize where the text is coming from. So that would be helpful. And I'm not sure if we mentioned when your actual schedule is going to be. I think it was right in the very beginning. But anyway, it's on Monday, March 3rd. It's from 1:30 p.m. to 2:45 p.m. You're actually going to be in concurrent session B slot, and most likely you'll be in Sun A and B, which is where the general session will be held. So I guess right now we can open up the line for questions. If you want to ask a live question, you could just raise your hand and I can unmute your line, or obviously just feel free to type me a question and we'll ask it. But before we wrap up, Gretchen's going to go over some resources. Gretchen, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I just had my mute on. We do have a few resources for Ignite presenters. I put this in the email that you received as well, so you could also look back and get a live link. Last year's Ignite presentations, because again, like I mentioned, it becomes a really large file, is in our Dropbox account, so you can go take a look at it there. If you have trouble accessing it, let me know. Other Ignite presentations from other conferences, other Ignite events, you can see at igniteshow.com. And then, of course, there's all kinds of resources on NBOA.net. I'm not sure exactly which ones you might need for Ignites, but feel free to contact me if you are stumped or don't know quite where to go or don't need some help getting through a spot you don't know what to do with. And with that, are there any questions or comments that people want to make?
I have a few questions. This is Jen Fallon that people have sent to me during the webinar, so I'll just read them off because they are applicable to everyone. One of the questions is, Gretchen, can you please send the template out that you want folks to use if we want them to use an NBOA template for their slides? Yes.
I will. Okay. I will resend the template, and I will send it to all the Ignite presenters. But if for some reason it doesn't come through, just email me, gretchen.reed@nboa.net, and I will send it as many times as we need to send it until you get it.
The other thing is people are asking for these actual slides, so if we need to open up, if we could send these slides out, that would be great.
Okay, I will do that.
Send those out. Somebody said, on a slide, can I fade in certain information within the 15 seconds?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. And I can unmute folks, but the only way they'll let me unmute is if you're actually on a phone. So if you're not on the phone, it's not going to allow you to talk. So the way in which you do that, if people are still listening, is you go to the audio pane on the little control panel, and then you have to dial that number and do the access code, and then click on telephone versus mic and speakers. Otherwise, when we talk through the computer, it does this awful reverberation, so we're unable to have a discussion unless everybody is on an actual phone and not on their computer. So sorry if that causes any difficulty for anybody. Right now, there are a few people that are, so it's kind of hard. I won't be able to unmute the line. If you have any other questions, you can't speak, just feel free to type them in.
Just one comment about the thing about the fading in and fading out. Just make sure that you've set your slides to be completely automated. You can set any kind of animation fade in, fade out to be completely automated. So as long as you do that, we'll make sure to keep that timing when we put it into the big presentation. But again, that's why it might be a good idea to come to the rehearsal and just check and make sure. Somebody tried to embed a video last year, and that was a little more challenging. So things that are wholly contained within the PowerPoint are fine. Any thoughts from anyone who's done this before, if you want to throw anything out? Any last questions before we end this webinar and post it for you to see later if you want?
Linda Riff said, please come. It was so much fun.
Yes, yes. We'll do our best to get people into the room. Okay, with that, again, thank you so much for sharing your passions. I think this is definitely my favorite session in all of annual meeting because it's just so much fun and so challenging and interesting to see what people get excited about. So I appreciate your being willing to take the time to put together in this specific format, and looking forward to it very much. So any questions, feel free to contact me, Melissa, or Jennifer, and we'll look forward to seeing you in Orlando.
All right, thanks,
Jennifer, you can wrap it up. Thanks, everybody.